Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome to Coming Out Black's 31 Days to Business Startup for LGBT Entrepreneurs. Happy Sunday to you. Now, today is day 10, and we're talking about business summary. And you're probably thinking, no, she meant business plan. But no, I meant business summary. Although I am referring to the business plan, I'm really thinking that nowadays, mm, in my opinion, the business plan is what I call dead and somewhat obsolete. Um, because I think the time and the energy and the effort and the research and the writing and the compiling that you will do to create a business plan is not worth it, because it will be outdated like within like a couple months, and at the most a year. And so instead of really spending all that time and energy on a business plan, I really recommend that people do a business summary. So there's a lot of debate in the community around, well, should you do a business plan versus an executive summary? And let me just say this: executive summary generally is a part of the business plan. And what I'm doing is thinking that instead of doing one or the other, executive summary or a business plan, to do what I'm calling kind of a mishmash, a kind of condensed business plan, which I'm calling a business summary. Because I don't care what kind of business you're going in, you really do need to do some planning. You need to be thinking about this, because you can't really know where you're going unless you kind of put on paper, and I always say it's not real until it's on paper, what your business plan is going to be or how you're going to be proceeding. But let me just review for a hot minute what the business plan was really all about. Usually in the business plan, these are some of the kind of subject areas that were part of the business plan, and a lot of these elements required lots of research and lots of data, kind of data analysis and information, so that you could figure out how would this apply to your business. So for one, you start with the company. What is your mission statement? I do believe that you should have a mission statement in your business summary. Your corporate culture. Again, this is really, what they call the guiding principles. But again, this goes back to, what is your central intelligence? What is your compelling promise? And what is your unique value proposition? So it's not necessarily corporate culture, because if you're a small business, you're not a corporation, at least not yet. It is something you'll consider down the road, but not immediately. And then historical direction and results. And if you just started a business, you don't really have any historical results. And given that so many things change in business nowadays, historical data may not be informative. So I'm always questioning, why spend a lot of time looking at the past when it's not really applicable. And then management, who will manage the business? And for a lot of us, we're solopreneurs, so there's not really an issue of management. We are the management. And so that's really all there is. And then I will say this: they call it situational analysis, SWOT, where they, rate the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of your business. I do believe that people should do probably an annual or every 2 years SWOT analysis. This is a really good way to get some really vital and important information about your business. And I've always loved doing SWOTs. I think they're important, and I think they're helpful and very useful. Some other elements of a business plan might be the marketing goals, consumer awareness, market share, diversification, channels of distribution of your services and or products. And again, these are important issues to be considering in your business summary, but I don't think you need to kind of drill down to the level that is typical of a business plan. I think you can kind of begin to do some basic research and make some basic assumptions, and then put those in your business summary, and then look at it from 3 to 6 months from now and see if that really was true, if that wasn't true, and if not, then you just change it. There's service and product development, which talks about the service, or the product, the pricing, the delivery system, the delivery capabilities, suppliers. It will depend on the type of business that you have, whether or not you will want to really have these types of components in your business. But I do think the whole pricing issue is something to look at. And that is part of your financial plan, and not necessarily you just kind of coming up with a price, but figuring out, there are a lot of different elements that go into pricing. I'm a financial person, and I can tell you, like, pricing is pretty important, and you want to make sure that whatever you price your product or services at, that they cover not only your salary costs, right, but also overhead. And then lastly, there's marketing plan. What are the strategies and tactics, client segmentation, positioning? All these things are also, really important when it comes to your business summary. But like I said, you're not going to drill down to the level that is normal for a business plan. And so what I'm suggesting that people do is, instead of doing a big, thick document called a business plan that for me is going to be outdated probably no sooner than you take it to the printer, um, quite honestly, is to come up with a business summary. And in that business summary, you're going to come up with your company overview. Now, that overview is really going to talk about, what is your mission statement? Who is your client? What is your compelling promise? What is your unique value proposition? And what kind of service or product you're going to be supplying to the world. And then you're going to come up with a marketing plan. And the thing about marketing plans nowadays is that different things work at different times. For example, with Coming Out Black, for the longest, honestly, I've been through so many different marketing plans with Coming Out Black. The first marketing plan that really worked for me was doing a YouTube video. Quite honestly, it was the thing that I was able to get people to my website by doing YouTube videos. That has since dropped off. And then I went through this phase where everybody's like, do Facebook. I did Facebook. And that was a decent. I had regular visitors to the website as a result of Facebook. But I tell you what, more recently, in the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, my following comes from Twitter. And so that's why I say don't write a business plan, because you can go out there and try to create this whole intense, highly researched marketing plan only to discover that social media has changed, the trends have changed, the way people do research around business has changed, and then you're all stuck with this business plan. With a business summary, you can just use it for now, and then when you need to change, you can change it, and it's not, this kind of cumbersome document to change, but more of a summary document you can change. And then also coming up with your operating plan. Maybe today you're by yourself, but maybe 3 to 6 months, or maybe even a year from now, you start outsourcing or you start hiring people. And so then you're going to change your operating plan. And then financial plan. The thing about the financial plan is, I want people to get real about their money, get real about the finances, and get specific about their financial goals. And so we'll talk about that later on this month when I talk about money matters, and really help people kind of do a money map to figure out, how much money not only do you want to make, but can make from your business. And then also, like I said before, I do highly recommend an annual SWOT analysis, because it will give you kind of vital information about your business, and it's a way for you to kind of take inventory of how you've been doing, what has worked, what hasn't worked. Maybe some potential competitors have crept up and they're kind of outpacing you, or perhaps you've outpaced your competitors. Who knows? But you won't know that information unless you do a little bit of analysis. And so my recommendation is to not really do that old school style business plan, but to work on a business summary, because you do need a plan for your business. I hope this information has been useful. Thank you for joining me. And as always, visit our website at www.comingoutblack.com. And oh yeah, I just always want to mention that starting in September, I'm going to be launching Coming Out Black's Business Academy, where I'm going to be offering business development online training courses, as well as one-on-one coaching for LGBT entrepreneurs. So once again, thank you for joining me. Take care of yourself, and peace and love.